Man, I'm seeing like $800.
Eventually, the two came to an agreement on $1,500, which isn't totally awful since David didn't know what he was doing to begin with.
I'll come down to 2,000. I've got 5 of them right there. $1,500, my man.
We can only imagine David's face, though, if he found out that it was actually worth about $6,000 in its current state during the appraisal. And if he were to drop about $3,000 to get it restored, it could have gone for as much as $15,000.
A cannon. What can you tell me about this thing?
Number 8, Hotchkiss Cannon. Carrying Rick out into the shop parking lot, a field artillery collector by the name of Chuck surprised him with an authentic, fully functional 19th century Hotchkiss cannon. And with such a big price tag and minimal knowledge of the item, Rick, of course, brought in a friend to appraise it.
1890 as indicated here.
Okay. Do they make any reproductions of these things?
No, ATF won't allow it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, however, Chuck's downfall was committing one of the worst mistakes that any novice negotiator could make, giving up his lowest price first before any of the haggling would commence. Worst of all is that Rick's expert gave the cannon the lowest possible price of 40 grand. Rick saw an opportunity and snatched it, at least under the condition that the cannon could still fire correctly. And much like the cannonball, Chuck's chances of getting another well-deserved 10 grand were gone. Some would say it was the seller's fault for undermining the cannon's value, especially since he himself is a collector. But without hesitation, Rick capitalized on the unsuspecting customer.
Tell me about this uber interesting medal I have.
Number 7, the White Eagle Medallion. This one could possibly get you interested in a yard sale hunt as long as you know your history. You see, a Vegas local who also turned out to be a fan of yard sales would stumble upon an interesting looking medallion and was able to pick it up for just 75 cents. Not long after, however, the medallion would find its way into a local pawn shop where Rick Harrison would buy it for 6 grand. Not a bad investment if you ask me, but here's where things get kind of dirty. One of Rick's experts would come in to examine the piece and found that it dated as far back as the Tsarist occupation of Poland. So, to put it simple, the metal was old and it was rare. And okay, so the seller did make a nice profit on the exchange, but considering how Rick later sold the piece off for a measly price of $30,000, I would end up feeling a little bit cheated. Number 6, a 19th century Colt 45 Peacemaker. Now, it's not uncommon to see a worn-out, aged pistol come through those doors, but some, of course, hold a lot more value than others. So, in an early season episode, when a man carried in an 1890s Colt 45, well, Rick was nothing short
Hmm.